Chapter 381, The Crystal Mirror and the Egg. Tang San hesitated before responding. I'm not entirely certain, but it seems to involve storage. When I encounter bloodline powers, I can store them, though the amount depends on my cultivation level. It's far inferior to your majesty's abilities. Interesting, the Crystal Great Demon Emperor said softly. I'm called omnipotent, yet I can't fully discern your bloodlines. You even wield mental power to attack directly, not a bloodline ability, but a technique of mental application. It's been a long time since I've seen such a fascinating being. You're impressive. Tang San remained silent, choosing to say little. The Crystal Great Demon Emperor continued calmly. Your abilities need further refinement. Your method of cultivating multiple bloodlines could easily draw scrutiny from other clans. Today, I grant you 2 tokens. In the future, if anyone questions you, these will protect you. However, when you're ready to break through to the divine level, you must come to the Crystal Palace, and I will personally oversee your ascension. Hearing this, Tang San exhaled in relief. The Emperor wasn't fixating on his abilities, perhaps only someone of his caliber could understand a being with multiple powers. Yet, Tang San couldn't shake the feeling that the first Great Demon Emperor was being unusually accommodating, asking little about his capabilities. One more question, the Emperor said suddenly. Tang San's heart tightened. Please, speak. The Emperor's tone was cool. Why could you suddenly control my water? That was the flooding the universe ability. Do you possess such a bloodline power? Even with water affinity, you shouldn't have stripped my control over the water element, only released your own. How did you do it? I seem to have an innate talent for controlling water elements to some extent, Tang San replied. Only to some extent, the Emperor asked coldly. Yes, Tang San said, finding the question hard to answer. Fortunately, the Emperor didn't press further, merely gazing at him with peculiar eyes. With a wave of his right hand, 2 objects floated toward Tang San. The first was a round mirror, palm-sized, carved entirely from crystal. Its surface shimmered with illusory light, exuding an extraordinary aura. This is my crystal mirror, the Emperor said. Only 9 exist, symbolizing the Crystal Palace's supreme status and serving as a vital token. If anyone challenges you, show it to them. Activated by mental power, it can replicate 1 bloodline power, usable once. Use it wisely. Thank you, Your Majesty, Tang San said. Replicating a bloodline power was beyond any array's capability, likely infused with the Emperor's own power. The second item reached him, a spherical object, perfectly round, crystal clear, adorned with intricate, ice flower-like patterns radiating translucent brilliance. About a foot in diameter, it felt heavy, comparable to Tang San's heaven-breaking hammer. This is an egg, the Emperor said, nurtured by me, a unique existence in your second test. When it hatches, protect it from any harm. Bring it back when you come to break through to the divine level. An egg test. Tang San stared, dumbfounded, at the mysterious egg the Emperor instructed, meet its every need. If it suffers any harm, your test fails, and you'll die, soul scattered. Guard it as you would your own life. Tang San's mouth twitched. He didn't understand why the Emperor assigned him this task. Having glimpsed his secrets without acting against him, the Emperor left Tang San no room to refuse. Yes, he replied earnestly. Go, the Emperor said, waving his hand. The surroundings turned strange, and when Tang San's vision cleared, he stood at the base of the crystal mountain. The steps above remained shrouded in mystique, now empty of climbers. Tang San felt as if in a dream. Were it not for the tangible crystal mirror and egg, the ordeal might have seemed unreal. He quickly stored both tokens in his storage bracelet and took a deep breath. This climb had been harrowing. He decided against ascending other sacred mountains, at least until after the Great Beast Arena's group battle. With tokens from 3 sacred mountains, including the Crystal Palace, the arena wouldn't dare trouble them. At the Crystal Mountain's entrance, Ji Yuli waited, his face alight with excitement. I won, he exclaimed, almost bouncing. I won, haha. Little Tang, you lasted longer, did you win too? How many battles? Tang San smiled, asking, and you? 2. Ji Yuli said. I beat myself twice. You reminded me to consider my strengths and weaknesses. In the first battle, I realized my biggest advantage was appearing before the replica. I rushed it, using time acceleration to attack first, giving it no chance to counter. I suppressed it and won. It used time control, so I did too, leveraging my first move advantage. In the second battle, another replica. I figured it would adapt, so I didn't rush it instead. I accelerated my disorder-splitting wind hammer technique before it appeared, stacking 7 or 8 spins. When it emerged, I used time transformation against its own, disrupting its control, and hammered it to death. There was a third, but I was drained. My hammer technique faltered, and it seized the chance to counter, taking me out. Such a pity, I was so close to winning the third. How many battles did you reach? Tang San smiled. It doesn't go on forever. Win 3 battles, and you reach the mountainside, facing 3 of yourself. 3. Ji Yuli gaped. How do you fight that? Tang San shrugged. Exactly. That's why I'm back. He didn't mention meeting the Crystal Great Demon Emperor or defeating 9 replicas, unexplainable feats. For Ji Yuli and their companions, facing 3 replicas was their limit. Terrifying, Ji Yuli said. No wonder no one climbs. But sparring with the replica over time control was enlightening. It deepened my understanding. Keep it, Tang San said. Next time, aim for 3. Ji Yuli scratched his head. It's tough. The third replica's time control was stronger, like a higher level. I need more practice. Chapter 382, What's Inside the Egg? Within the Crystal Palace, its vast halls crafted entirely from crystal, the Crystal Great Demon Emperor returned, his expression thoughtful. Murmuring to himself, he said, do you truly believe he's suitable? He's just a human. Don't you find his origins and abilities peculiar? Some powers aren't from bloodlines. Another melodious voice, identical to his yet indistinguishable as male or female, replied, you said it, he's human. This one's fascinating. He passed my trial not for his race or abilities but his character. He risked his life rather than abandon his teammate. His abilities are intriguing, the voice continued. Imprinting bloodline powers within himself isn't mere mimicry. Omnipotent as I am, I simulate, not possess. I can handle 3 powers at most. He wields more. That's interesting, perhaps a future path. The Emperor nodded. Your choices are never wrong. I trust this one won't be either. Of course not, the voice laughed. Rest now that old fox, master of fate, can't predict this, haha. Tang San and Ji Yuli finished their climb early. The others were still training, so they picked up Dubai, then Wu Bingji and Cheng Zicheng. By evening, they returned to their lodging. Exhausted, they ate a simple dinner and retired to process their gains. Tang San, though not physically tired, was mentally shaken by the day's events. The Crystal Great Demon Emperor's pressure had made him feel beyond his control, a bitter sensation for a former god king. Having his life in another's hands, after once mastering all, was agonizing. He knew that against the Crystal Great Demon Emperor or any Great Demon Emperor, even with his partially restored divine consciousness, escape was impossible. He'd intimidated the Crystal Phoenix Great Demon Emperor before, but in true combat, he stood no chance. He had to grow stronger, fast. Reflecting on the Emperor's abilities, mostly first-tier bloodlines, some Tang San possessed, he sensed something amiss in the replication. Could the emperor truly wield all bloodline powers? True omnipotence. As a former god king, Tang San knew no being, human or divine, was limitless. There was no true omnipotence. What was the emperor's limit, or the flaw in his replication? That secret required exploration, but not now. He was too weak to probe. He retrieved the emperor's two tokens, the crystal mirror and the mysterious egg. The emperor had explained the mirror's function. It could replicate one ability, usable once, requiring reactivation. Holding it, Tang San felt an odd sensation. Scanning its material with mental power, he found it unlike anything he'd encountered, even with his vast experience, an enigma. Unable to discern its origin, he decided to test it. Silver light shimmered as peacock transformation's power gathered. Guiding silver radiance with mental power into the mirror, a swirling vortex appeared, absorbing it like a whale. Silver patterns, resembling peacock feathers, formed on the mirror's surface before fading. Further energy infusion failed. Injecting mental power, he connected with the mirror. Silver light emerged, and with a flash, Tang San teleported across the room, the mirror's patterns vanishing. Remarkable. This could be a lifesaver if used wisely. The replicated power's strength seemed tied to the user's, capped below divine level. Otherwise, it would be a true divine artifact, too grand for the emperor to gift. Beyond its function, the mirror's significance was profound. For the emperor, it could shield Tang San's multiple bloodlines. The emperor's kindness was the second uncontrollable factor. A stranger, wielding multiple powers, should have shocked him. Yet, instead of scrutiny, he offered tokens, vouching for Tang San. Why this generosity from the first demon emperor, with no apparent reason? This puzzle couldn't be solved now, perhaps the answer lay in the other token. Tang San's gaze fell on the egg crystal clear, its shell gleamed like a gem. Without the emperor's word, he might have mistaken it for one. He cautiously probed it with mysterious heaven technique, but the energy vanished without a trace, like a stone in the sea. Mental power yielded the same result, nothing. What life did it hold? Why did the emperor value it so? It couldn't be his offspring, his mutated bloodline was untransmissible, and he wouldn't entrust it to a stranger. After probing without clues, Tang San stored the egg in mirror. A nagging feeling persisted, as if he'd missed something vital, a spark of intuition hinting at a great opportunity. What was it? Chapter 383, continuing the training. Tang San pondered, even using his divine consciousness, but the elusive insight evaded him. Giving up, he entered his training room to cultivate, consolidating his mental power. The day's battle had deepened his understanding of multiple bloodline applications, enriching his experience with demon transformations. The next morning, the group set out again, but Tang San stayed behind. For their plan, Ji Yu Li and Dubai continued their usual training, while Wu Bingji headed to the flooding the universe Great Demon Emperor's domain, and Cheng Zicheng went to the immortal Great Demon Emperor's to face the Phoenix's pressure. Tang San had already experienced the Phoenix's might through the crystal Great Demon Emperor's simulation, likely close to the real thing. Its bloodline suppression lingered vividly, but he couldn't reveal this. He silently wished Cheng Zicheng well, hoping she'd gain benefits rather than setbacks. Tang San, with tokens from 3 palaces, including the Crystal and Heavenly Fox palaces, had enough to handle upcoming challenges. His Crystal Palace ordeal had instilled greater awe for the Great Demon and Heavenly Spirit Emperors. He noticed that at their level, racial differences mattered less. In the 3 palaces, he faced no unfair treatment or discrimination for being human, no climbing bans or extra fees. These powerhouses valued ability over race. As a human, too weak to threaten them, he was insignificant unless he reached their level. Teacher, are you there? After seeing his companions off, Tang San activated his communicator to contact Zhang Haoshuan. Soon, Zhang Haoshuan's voice replied, I'm here. Everything going well. Very well, Tang San said. I've obtained 3 palace tokens. The others are training hard. Climbing the palaces is excellent for cultivation, each suited differently. What? 3 palace tokens? Zhang Haoshuan's voice spiked. Tokens weren't easy to earn, requiring great recognition during the climb. Tang San's feat in 3 days was unheard of. Tokens signified palace endorsement and protection, making challengers think twice. How about you, teacher? Tang San asked, avoiding mention of the Crystal and Heavenly Fox palaces to spare Zhang Haoshuan's heart. I'm fine, Zhang Haoshuan said. Their faces when they saw I'd reached divine level were priceless. In redemption, divine level is top tier. As an array master, I can sell arrays for funds, boosting my importance. My position will likely shift, but I've told them I'm returning to Jiali City. He paused, then added, if you stay in the ancestral court, I'll stay with you. Your call. I'll return to Jiali City, Tang San said, but we might stay here longer. If you're free, come back to the hotel. Let's discuss arrays and prepare for the Heavenly Spirit shop. Great, I'm on my way, Zhang Haoshuan agreed eagerly, thrilled to study arrays. He'd mastered the spirit gathering array and grasped the basics of the teleportation array. The more he studied, the more he admired Tang San's ingenuity. As a divine level cultivator with enhanced mental clarity, arrays came naturally, and he craved more learning. Soon, Zhang Haoshuan returned, booking a suite for Demon King level cultivators and inviting Tang San over. They smiled upon meeting. What will you offer them? Zhang Haoshuan asked eagerly. We need to give them something enticing to secure the Heavenly Spirit Dear Demon support, Tang San said. The teleportation array is too precious. Let's give them the Spirit Fusion array. It's more complex than the Spirit Gathering array, but with your current understanding, you should master it quickly. Let's start now. Excellent. Zhang Haoshuan was thrilled. Another array would deepen his mastery, and he welcomed it. I've checked on the auction, he added. A major one's happening in about half a month, held twice yearly. There'll be plenty of treasures. Can our array discs shine there? Tang San nodded. To buy good items, we need funds. We'll prepare quality items for the auction. You practice the Spirit Fusion array disc, and I'll craft some valuables. Over the next few days, the Shrek team's other 4 continued climbing, unable to reach the summits but gaining varied benefits. Notably, Cheng Zicheng nearly perished climbing the immortal sacred mountain, a volcanic inferno. Yet, the scorching purified her bloodline, yielding great rewards despite the pain. In contrast, Wu Bingji fared better at the Endless Palace. Water and ice aligned, and he sensed profound changes, aiding his cultivation. His ice mastery allowed him to climb 4/5 of the way, improving daily. On the 6th day in the ancestral court, while his companions climbed, Tang San returned to the Heavenly Spirit shop where their caravan had arrived. Chapter 384, The Master. Dressed plainly and wearing a mask, Tang San wasn't alone. Behind him followed an elderly man with white hair and beard, exuding an aura of quiet authority despite his unremarkable appearance. His face, too, was concealed by a mask. Upon entering, Tang San spotted a familiar figure, the caravan captain who had brought them to the ancestral court, already waiting. This was arranged via the communicator provided by the Heavenly Spirit Dear Demon King. The captain glanced at Tang San, but his attention instantly shifted to the old man. The Heavenly Spirit Dear Demon excelled at observation, their Heavenly Spirit eye discerning elemental fluctuations. From the elder, the captain sensed overwhelming fire elements, a hallmark of a divine level powerhouse. a human divine level cultivator, an exceedingly rare existence. As a 9th tier heavenly spirit deer demon himself, entrusted with significant responsibilities, the captain quickly stepped forward. He nodded to Tang San before turning to the elder with deep respect. May I ask who this is? Tang San nodded back. I've fulfilled my mission. Understanding immediately, the captain gestured invitingly. Please, both of you, come inside. The elder didn't nod, his demeanor tinged with arrogance as he strode forward. Tang San followed respectfully behind as the captain led them into the shop's interior. The heavenly spirit shop, befitting one of the continent's largest merchants, was vast. Beyond 1,000 square meter lobby lay rows of private rooms. The captain explained these were for major clients, offering tailored item selection with privacy and impeccable service, qualities that made the shop a favorite among demon and spirit race elites. The captain guided them past the rooms to a luxurious secluded chamber. Its walls and door, forged from metal, were etched with soundproof arrays, clearly a cut above the other rooms. The chamber's decor was opulent, with soothing incense filling the air, sharpening the senses. Fresh fruits adorned a table, flanked by plush sofas. Nearby stood a sealed room with crystal-like walls, housing a large desk, its walls inscribed with arrays to isolate not just sound but other energies. That room is for inspecting goods, the captain explained. Some items are dangerous, so it's designed for safety. Our top clients trade here, observing items from outside to ensure their security. Tang San smiled. Very thorough. Is it safe here? Absolutely, the captain assured. This is the shop's core. We haven't had an incident in years. It's completely isolated, even divine consciousness can't penetrate from outside. Tang San nodded. Good. Allow me to introduce, this is the master I spoke of, Master Lu. The captain bowed deeply. Greetings, Master Lu. I'm Xu Zaran, a key manager of the Heavenly Spirit Shop. It's an honor to meet you. HMPH, Master Lu grunted, saying little. Tang San quickly added, I was fortunate to find Master Lu. I've conveyed the shop master's sincerity and the Heavenly Spirit dear demon's strength. He graciously agreed to come. Xu Zaran, sharp as ever, bowed again. Thank you for your efforts, Master. Master Lu waved dismissively. Enough pleasantries. Let's get to business. Xu Zaran sat upright. The shop master instructed me to meet your needs if we connected. Please, state your terms. Master Lu spoke coolly. Shira has explained your situation. My terms are simple. You can distribute my goods, but I don't guarantee quantity or timing. When I deliver, you pay my set price. Shira will be our liaison. I reside in the ancestral court. With a flick of his hand, an object flew toward Xu Zaran. Xu Zaran caught it, and upon recognizing it, he sprang up, holding it aloft with both hands and bowing. Sword Saint's blessings. It was a sword-shaped token, the Sword Saint Palace's emblem. Returning it respectfully, Xu Zaran said, I understand, Master. Your terms are mostly agreeable, but pricing requires evaluation based on the array discs provided. What do you think? Master Lu cut him off with a wave. Market decides. I'll sell you discs that have appeared at auctions, priced accordingly. Xu Zaran's eyes lit up. That's fine. Could you grant us exclusive distribution rights? Exclusive access to array discs, even at auction prices plus a premium, would yield massive profits through the shop's channels and hype. Master Lu shook his head. You've seen the token. Exclusive. Impossible. Sharing some is already a risk. I'm doing this because Shira once helped me greatly, and to fund further array research with your resources. Payment can include materials I need, also at auction prices. Without hesitation, Xu Zaran nodded. Agreed, as you say. Even non-exclusive access would bring immense profits. The token confirmed Master Lu's Sword Saint Palace ties. Exclusivity was a pipe dream. Master Lu nodded, satisfied. Xu Zaran asked, how many discs will you provide, Master? Types and quantities. Master Lu glanced at him. Depends on my mood. Xu Zaran's eyes flickered. We understand the difficulty of crafting discs, your heart's work. How about this? We'll pay 10% above auction prices, but we hope you'll provide at least half your finished discs to us. Tang San, observing silently, inwardly praised Xu Zaran's acumen and authority. Offering a 10% premium without consulting the shop master showed his high standing. How much profit remained? Chapter 385, Negotiation. The Heavenly Spirit Deer Demon's shop, a leading merchant on the continent, had its unique strengths. Master Lu fell silent, glancing at Tang San, who gave no reaction. Fine, Master Lu said. I'll try to provide half, but I can't guarantee exact numbers. Xu Zaran beamed. Wonderful. We look forward to a fruitful partnership. If you need materials, contact our shop anytime. We can even supply them up front, offset by future discs. His sincerity was palpable. Master Lu nodded. I'll need you to source some items, including rare blood essences. I'm experimenting with arrays to manifest bloodline powers. If successful, it could. He stopped abruptly, a flicker of regret in his eyes, as if he'd said too much. Xu Zaran's heart raced. We can meet your needs. Master Lu smirked mockingly. All of them. That's a bold claim. If I need the crystal or heavenly fox great demon emperor's blood, can you provide that? Master, please don't jest, Xu Zaran said awkwardly. Who's jesting? Master Lu replied. Bloodline array research thrives on stronger bloodlines. An array with the crystal great demon emperor's blood might grant its wielder temporary omnipotent abilities. What? Impossible. Xu Zaran blurted, incredulous. Master Lu said coolly, nothing's impossible. That room isolates energy, right? Shira, come with me, I'll show some skill, lest they think I'm boasting. He rose and headed for the crystal-walled room. Xu Zaran looked at Tang San. Brother Shira, I didn't mean that. Explain to the master. Relax, Tang San nodded, following Master Lu. Master Lu produced rare materials, some so precious Xu Zaran was stunned. Blazing divine level flames erupted, engulfing the materials, which danced and melted before him. Master Lu's expression was calm, his movements fluid. Soon, an array disc took shape. His eyes gleamed, and a crimson carving knife appeared, swiftly etching intricate patterns onto the disc, surrounded by intense flames. Xu Zaran, outside the crystal wall, dared not interrupt, watching intently. Master Lu's motions alternated between bold and meticulous, filling the disc with arcane patterns. After a quarter hour, he retracted the knife, his eyes betraying a hint of reluctance. He blew on the disc, inspected it, and handed it to Tang San. Tang San emerged, holding the disc, with Master Lu behind. Remarkable, Xu Zaran exclaimed. Crafting a disc so quickly is astounding. Master Lu waved dismissively. Not easy. I wasted materials to speed up, didn't you notice? The materials alone cost more than any sold disc. That's the price of haste, using material reactions. You've seen this disc before. Tang San handed it to Xu Zaran, who, upon injecting mental power, recognized it, a spirit fusion array disc, used by the Shrek team in the Great Beast Arena, surpassing the spirit gathering array and yet to be sold publicly. Crafted so swiftly, it dispelled Xu Zaran's doubts. He bowed deeply. It's a spirit fusion array disc. Its value. You'll know soon, Master Lu said. It'll appear at the Ancestral Court's auction in half a month, alongside new discs for pricing. This one's a gift, my sincerity. Just supply the materials I used, no crafting fee. Master, you're generous. Shuzuran, elated, stored the disc. A disc for just material costs was a steal. Unbeknownst to him, ordinary material sufficed for a spirit fusion array disc at similar speed. The rare materials were wasted to impress him. About the bloodline array, Shuzuran probed. Master Lu said, I knew you'd ask. I'll show you, or you wouldn't trust me to source blood essences. Bloodline arrays are tough, discs even harder, with high failure rates. I won't embarrass myself here. I've given Shira a completed disc. Let him demonstrate. He sat, feigning fatigue, and closed his eyes. Shuzuran's eager gaze turned to Tang San, who nodded and produced a disc. Pale blue, its surface bore intricate, mesmerizing patterns that seemed to twist vision, leaving Shuzuran dazzled. This disc, Tang San said, harnesses a plant-based bloodline power. Master Lu sourced spirit race bloodlines from the Empire of the Sun, easier to obtain. Its value lies in combining multiple spirit race bloodlines, letting them devour and evolve, creating a disc rivaling a third-tier bloodline. Only one succeeded after many attempts, making it precious and reusable. A third-tier bloodline, Shuzuran gasped. Impossible. Master Lu smirked. If I couldn't do the impossible, would I be a master? Shira, show him. Chapter 386, Full Recognition. Yes, Tang San replied respectfully, his hands deftly manipulating the array disc. Instantly, intricate light patterns emerged, pulsing with complex energy fluctuations even Shuzuran couldn't fully decipher. Suddenly, Tang San pressed the disc to his chest. Silver light flared, and his eyes gleamed with blue-silver radiance. Spreading his arms, thick vines surged from his palms, rushing toward Shuzuran. Startled, Shuzuran retreated, but the vines swiftly formed a massive cage. Spikes sprouted from each vine, exuding a potent bloodline aura. Tang San's right hand grasped the air, vines melding into a sharp, long spear. It's truly heavenly spirit transformation, Shuzuran exclaimed. While his combat prowess leaned on mental power, his heavenly spirit eye's observation was unmatched. He confirmed the blue-silver emperor's bloodline power, a power Tang San hadn't shown before. Master Lu's claim was true, he'd infused bloodline power into an array disc. This was staggering, leaving Shuzuran speechless. He realized the shopmaster had underestimated Master Lu severely. This was a divine feat. Such a disc was akin to granting a second bloodline. A third-tier bloodline disc was already this remarkable, what about higher tiers? Shuzuran dared not imagine. This disc was priceless. His voice trembled as he asked, Master, what level of bloodline can your discs achieve? The highest possible. Master Lu replied calmly, the bloodline used determines the level. Theoretically, a great demon emperor level disc is possible, but I lack their blood and my strength is insufficient. For now, I could try divine level, but it requires vast materials. Shuzuran gasped. Master, I can't promise anything yet. This is too significant. I must report to my superiors. Please await my response. His mind was reeling. This wasn't within his authority. For the combat-weak heavenly spirit deer demon, a bloodline disc was transformative, a qualitative leap. Master Lu pointed at Tang San. Contact him. He knows how to reach me. That blue-silver emperor disc is my gift to Shira for his safety in the ancestral court's group battle. If he comes to harm, our deal is off. He stood and strode out. Shuzuran hurried after. Rest assured, Master. The shopmaster has planned for the group battle, ensuring brother Shira's safety. Our deal stands. Will you sell these bloodline discs? Master Lu paused, turning. Sell them. I've barely succeeded with a few. Experiments are limited without resources. Why else would I partner with you, if not for research? Absolutely, it's our honor, Shuzuran nodded fervently. That's all, Master Lu said, leaving. Tang San whispered to Shuzuran, Captain Shu, I'll escort the master and return shortly. He followed Master Lu to a carriage outside. Shuzuran saw them off, then signaled softly, follow them. Find their lodging. Inside the carriage, Zhang Haoshuan removed his mask, a smile playing on his lips. This feels rather good. Master Lu was, of course, his disguise, aided by the mask and makeup. This was all planned with Tang San. Partnering with the Heavenly Spirit Shop, loyal to the Peacock Demon clan, net profits would benefit them, and Mei Gongzi, if she inherited the clan. The shop's vast network could also source rare items Tang San needed. The bloodline disc was a ruse. Tang San could create them, but they were complex and resource-intensive, unnecessary for now. The display was to spur the shop to source rare blood essences, especially those Tang San needed, benefiting the Redemption Organization. Master Lu's showcase of array crafting prowess awed Shuzuran, elevating Tang San's importance as liaison. If Tang San faced danger, the shop would intervene to protect their lucrative deal, a multifaceted win. You played it well, teacher, Tang San chuckled. Your disc crafting skill has improved. Zhang Haoshuan nodded. Divine consciousness makes a difference, everything flows naturally. Go back and arrange the group battle details. I'm off. With a flash of a teleportation array disc, he vanished from the carriage. Tang San didn't rush back, reflecting on the exchange with Shuzuran to ensure no oversights. Satisfied, he directed the carriage back to the shop. Trackers, of course, found nothing. Zhang Haoshuan's teleportation eluded them. When Shuzuran saw Tang San again, his subordinate reported, 2 entered the carriage, none exited, yet only Tang San returned. Captain Shu, Tang San greeted upon re-entering. Shuzuran smiled warmly. Brother Shira, call me Brother Shu if you don't mind. I'm grateful you brought the master. On behalf of the shop, thank you. Tang San smiled. I promised the shop master. It was sheer luck finding Master Lu. He's not much for words, but he said to contact me for any matters, and he'll reach out. He implied Master Lu would contact him, not vice versa, signaling to Shuzuran that even he couldn't easily reach the master. Chapter 387, The Hunting Hour. Such conversational finesse didn't guarantee Shuzuran's belief, but it undeniably raised Tang San's importance in his eyes. Brother Shira, you're due at the arena tomorrow. Time's near, Shuzuran said. I've arranged the group battle. Rest assured, the Heavenly Spirit Shop has invested heavily to ensure your safety. Stay for dinner, we'll discuss details to avoid any slip-ups. Thank you, Brother Shu, Tang San said with a smile. Their discussion flowed smoothly. The shop had secured their retreat, but the Shrek team could no longer exist in the Great Beast Arena. Their disappearance was inevitable, though their noble status, backed by the shop, remained intact. Shuzuran detailed the Ancestral Court's Great Beast Arena, distinct from main city arenas. It was grander, less about slaughter and more about honing elite demon and spirit race nobles through freer rules. Casualties occurred, but less brutally than in main cities, as participants were often prodigies. Beyond this, the Ancestral Court housed a mysterious realm, the Hell Garden. Only half of its entrants could survive, their lives of blood sacrificed to the garden. Even great demon emperors couldn't probe it, and divine level beings were barred. The Hell Garden brimmed with perils, not just from its environment but from fellow entrants, as only half could exit. If deaths fell short, survivors faced mutual slaughter, making it brutally cruel. Yet, it offered immense opportunities. Those who emerged found their path to divinity smoother, though specific benefits remained undisclosed. The Ancestral Court's group battle was, in essence, a chaotic melee in the Hell Garden, opened monthly for up to 100 entrants, with 50 or fewer surviving. If fewer entered, only half lived. Betting on survivors and their order fueled massive revenue, with strict bans on first-tier bloodline clans participating. The Shrek team's upcoming battle was in the Hell Garden, their names already submitted. Shuzuran's 7-day recall meant they'd enter in 9 days, 3 days remained for preparation. The Hell Garden was deemed the fairest, freest battleground. Entrants appeared randomly but could form teams of varying sizes, even 30 strong. However, larger teams drew collective attacks, as only half survived. Experience showed teams of 5 to 10 had the highest survival rates. Shuzuran shared intelligence on the Hell Garden and their survival plan. Post-battle, the Shrek team would vanish, their noble status preserved by the shop. Tang San suspected the shop had bribed the arena. Money, if not omnipotent, might sway the divine. With 3 days left and new details, preparations began. Back at the White Tiger Hotel, Tang San contacted Zhang Haoshuan to purchase items, then set up a soundproof array in his training room, isolating even vibrations. Zhang Haoshuan delivered the items, and they discussed the Hell Garden. Tang San began preparations. When Wu Bingji and the others returned at nightfall, exhausted mentally or physically, they dined together. Tang San gathered them in his room to brief them on the Hell Garden. With the shop's arrangements, we're relatively safe, Wu Bingji said, relieved. Tang San smiled. The issue isn't our safety, it's whether our opponents in the Hell Garden will be safe. Since we're entering, we must seize benefits. We lack details on the garden's rewards, but we'll find our own. Dubai's eyes lit up. How? A cold glint flashed in Tang San's eyes. The hunting hour. Hunting. The four exchanged glances. Tang San nodded. The Hell Garden's greatest advantage is its isolation. No one can spy inside. Whatever we do, if no witnesses survive, no one will know. Our opponents will be ferocious and powerful. Harvesting their blood essences is a treasure, useful for us, our academy, or auction for profit. Ruthless. Ji Yu Li gasped. Chang Zicheng eyed Tang San. If I didn't know your age, I'd think you're older than us. Tang San, masked and appearing in his 20s, seemed mature. Before he could respond, Wu Bingji said, for humans, we seize every chance. We're abandoning our hard-earned status in Jiali City. We must grasp every opportunity. I agree with Tang San's plan. We enter to gain. No problem here, Dubai said, patting his chest. I'll manage our luck. Chapter 388, A Brand New World. Chang Zicheng snorted, just don't hold us back. I've made good progress lately and want to show it off. Ji Yu Li chuckled, me too. I'm starting to get the hang of it. I think my future lies in becoming a master of time, truly grasping its mysteries. Tang San nodded. I'll craft some hidden weapons and new array discs for you. For the next 2 days, we'll skip mountain climbing to practice and master these new tools. At the mention of new weapons, the eyes of Wu Bingji and the others lit up. Tang San's creations were always exceptional. 2 days passed quickly, and the day to enter the Hell Garden arrived. Early that morning, the five checked out of the White Tiger Hotel and headed to the Heavenly Spirit shop. Shuzuran was waiting, handing Tang San a storage ring with a few whispered instructions before escorting them to a spacious carriage. Its windows were sealed, a rule to keep the Hell Garden's entrance secret. Participants gathered at a designated spot, then rode sealed carriages, shielded from mental probing, driven by Ancestral Court personnel to the entrance. Inside, 5 tailored black outfits awaited, complete with hoods revealing only eyes and mouths. Once worn, only their builds distinguished them, enhancing the bottle's mystery. Tang San nodded to his team, and they swiftly changed. Seeing each other in hoods, barely recognizable, Tang San's lips curved into a smile. The more mysterious the group battle, the better for him. The carriage journey was long, stopping twice without external sounds. 4 crystals at the corners cast faint light, preventing total darkness. The 5 sat in silence, conserving energy. After about an hour, Tang San's eyes snapped open, sensing a powerful mental force enveloping them, blocking external perception. He closed his eyes again. Another half-hour passed before the carriage stopped. The isolation vanished, and muffled noises filtered in. Disembark, a voice commanded. Tang San nodded to his team and led the way out. Bright sunlight greeted them, and Tang San squinted, adjusting while scanning their surroundings. They stood in a valley with steep rock walls, a wide path stretching forward, lush plants thriving on both sides. The life aura here was dense, unlike the Ancestral Court's segmented attributes, resembling Jiali cities but richer. Over a dozen carriages gathered, black-clad, hooded participants stepping out, their drivers absent, as if the carriages arrived autonomously. 2 tall figures, likely not participants, stood ahead, distinguished by red patterns on their black attire and hoods. Each of you has a number plate, one said coldly. Wear it when exiting, present it for verification, or face death. The plates, provided with the outfits, bore numbers 11 to 15 for Tang San's team. These tied to the arena's betting system, used to confirm rankings and identities upon exit. Group battles required guarantors, each team backed by a faction paying a hefty deposit, non-refunded if the team perished. Many factions vied to sponsor, leveraging knowledge of their teams for betting advantages. Successful teams earned guarantors multiples of the deposit. Finding suitable participants, however, was challenging. Tang San hung his plate on his left chest. As a team, the specific numbers mattered little. Plates aided teammate identification early on, but in the chaos of the Hell Garden, teammates could die, and plates could be stolen for impersonation, a known tactic. The red patterned figure pointed deeper into the passage. The path stretched straight, distant scenery hazy, exuding an oppressive aura fitting the Hell Garden's name. Other teams advanced, aware of the rules, no fighting before entering, or face execution. Tang San's group followed, and after 100 meters, eerie, dreamlike wails echoed from above. These sounds carried a strange magic, dulling thoughts and slowing minds. Tang San sensed the danger, his mental power growing sluggish. Resisting with divine consciousness would be too conspicuous with Ancestral Court observers likely watching. He endured. After 10 minutes, the path opened into a new world, as if they'd passed through a gate. It was a bizarre realm, with shifting, indistinct light and shadow creating a disorienting, surreal scene. Staring at the lights risked sinking into a trance. Their chest plates grew warm, jolting the participants awake. Tang San noticed each team's plates glowed differently. The Shrek teams emitted a pale green halo. Suddenly, the surreal world twisted violently. Tang San felt dizzy, as if swallowed by something, the surroundings shifting rapidly. A standalone plane. Chapter 389, The Hell Garden. As a former God King, Tang San was familiar with subplanes, realms formed by powerful mental lore stabilized spatial fragments, reliant on a main plane to persist, lest they collapse swiftly. The Hell Garden, a subplane tied to Falon Star and controlled by the Ancestral Court, was no exception. Based on Shuzuran's intel, Tang San had analyzed it, a standalone space, inherently unstable, barring divine-level beings to prevent collapse. Its benefits likely weren't material, or such treasures had long been claimed, making it a group battle arena. In essence, it was a dangerous spatial battlefield. As Tang San reflected, the surroundings cleared, and he felt himself falling. Exclamations rose nearby. Without looking, Tang San grabbed Dubai with his right hand. Chang Zicheng, wings unfurled, seized Wu Bingji and Ji Yuli. White gold light cushioned their descent from about 10 meters. Tang San scanned the area, mental power probing outward. A strange world unfolded. A dark sky mimicked night, yet the ground glowed with vibrant flowers emitting soft light, mesmerizing under the starry veil. The Hell Garden. Recalling Shu Zuran's intel, Tang San guided their descent toward a spot. Chang Zicheng followed, wings flapping. Warm-colored flowers were safe, cold-colored ones dangerous, swapping roles when songs played, a core rule. They landed amid warm-toned flowers, pale pink, orange, and light red, some towering meters high, others mere inches, concealing them instantly. It's beautiful. Chang Zicheng whispered, enchanted by the glowing blooms, her feminine sensibility stirred. Wu Bingji tapped her, silencing her. All eyes turned to Tang San. He smiled. The hunting hour begins now. Hell Garden rules, find the soul exit. Songs triggered directional instincts, and warm and cold flowers swapped roles. Each song increased cold flowers, reducing warm ones. Passing cold flower zones, airborne or grounded, drew attacks. The garden lasted 7 days externally. If all flowers turned cold, it sealed, trapping everyone. Only half could exit. If too many reached the exit, some had to die to meet the quota, their lives nourishing the plain, a reason battles were held here. Having just entered, Tang San noted warm flowers dominated 2/3 of their view, maximizing safe space. He held back, as the exit's direction was unknown until the first song. Dubai clutched 2 Zug divine crossbows, his weapons ready. Tang San touched a pink flower, closing his eyes to sense its warmth, a comforting energy tempting him to linger forever. The flowers exuded goodwill, holding unique energy, not plant-based but a mix of space, time, and indescribable mysteries. Examining the ground, black like the sky, Tang San touched it and recoiled as if shocked. A torrent of malevolent intent, like a vortex, threatened to devour his will. Yet, his shod feet felt nothing. The flowers' positive energy seemed to counter the soil's malice. Shu Zuran's intel was limited, and even survivors knew little of the garden's true nature. Dubai, gripping his crossbows, grinned. This is where I shine. With my heavenly fox eye, I'll guide us with luck to the exit first, then handle latecomers, perfect. White light glowed in his eyes, a 3-tailed heavenly fox shadow forming above. His logic was sound, luck could guide them through warm flowers, avoiding cold ones post-song. Tang San frowned but didn't intervene, watching intently. As the fox shadow solidified, Tang San's pupils contracted. The white shadow turned black at the last moment. Instantly, the warm flowers around them shifted to cold tones, a chilling aura engulfing the Shrek team. Chapter 390, Ripples of Misfortune. With all eyes on Dubai, the team noticed the 3-tailed heavenly fox's color shift instantly. Their battle-honed instincts kicked in. Ji Yuli unleashed time transformation, freezing the surroundings. The fox shadow paused mid-shift. Chang Zicheng, wings still out, struck Dubai's back. Tang San's eyes flashed purple gold, delivering a mental shock. Wu Bingji conjured ice shields around them. Dubai grunted, his heavenly fox transformation disrupted, the shadow vanishing. The flowers halted their shift, reverting to warm tones. It happened in a flash, a moment's delay would have completed the change. Dubai, nearly toppled by Chang Zicheng, steadied with Tang San's help but clutched his head, wincing from the mental shock. What are you doing? Tang San supported him. No heavenly fox transformation, it's off. Huh. Dubai stared, bewildered, adjusting his mental power. Tang San frowned. You weren't summoning luck, it was misfortune. What? Dubai gaped, frowning as he recalled the moment. After days honing at the heavenly fox palace, he felt his luck control improve, his bloodline pure, eager to shine. This outcome stunned him. How? He muttered. What did it feel like? Tang San asked. Dubai shook his head, dazed. Hard to say. Something odd, like a force draining me, making me irritable. Tang San said gravely, no heavenly fox transformation for now everyone, hold steady until the first song. I'll check it out. He moved toward the edge of the warm flower zone, wary of the garden's mysteries. He needed to understand the true difference between warm and cold flowers. Dubai's anomaly was unique, only his heavenly fox transformation had shifted, unlike their normal demon transformations. Only luck could affect luck. Activating golden light or flame for protection, Tang San cautiously reached the boundary between warm and cold flowers, 100 meters from his team. The flowers' distribution, observed aerially and mentally, was irregular. Ensuring no impact on his team, Tang San stepped into the cold flower zone. A chilling aura hit instantly, followed by a powerful suction. Gravity surged, hindering movement, and his bloodline and life force drained rapidly. Even with his unparalleled control below divine level, Tang San couldn't stop the loss. The cold flowers grew wildly, fueled by his life force. Some exploded, petals turning into blades, others enlarged, sprouting toothed barbs, vines from the ground lashed at him. Tang San snorted, golden light or flame flaring into a white cocoon, pulverizing the attacks. He tried absorbing the flowers' energy with his flames devouring trait but stopped instantly, a chill gripping him as if something dire loomed, misfortune. His sensitivity to luck, from his own heavenly fox transformation, confirmed it. A massive white light or shadow roared behind him, shattering cold flowers within dozens of meters. Tang San retreated to the warm flower zone, slowed by the ground's pull but escaping quickly from the edge. That sensation, Tang San frowned, grasping a clue. The garden's attacks tied to misfortune. Dubai's luck had turned to misfortune, and cold flowers carried it too. The destroyed cold flower patch regrew swiftly, vibrant and cold. If luck triggered misfortune, converting warm flowers to cold, what about direct misfortune? Bold yet confident in his hidden divine consciousness, Tang San subtly activated heavenly fox transformation. With heavenly spirit eyes precision, a black halo enveloped him, projecting misfortune outward, not inward, to balance accumulated luck. As he released it, his body trembled. The warm flowers shifted to cold, as with Dubai, but his mental perception expanded dramatically. Countless malevolent intents and misfortune ripples flooded his senses, extending thousands of meters. He sensed a resting team in a warm flower zone. The ripples, laden with misfortune, flowed uniformly toward one direction. Chapter 391, Hell and Paradise are in the human world. His perception reached its limit as the transformed cold flowers attacked again. Tang San dispelled the misfortune, golden light or flame shattering the assault. The flowers reverted to warm tones, attack ceasing. Ripples of misfortune, flowing toward a source. Tang San's heart shook. The Hell Garden wasn't just a unique space, it held deeper secrets. Frowning, he prepared to rejoin his team when a melodious song rose. Instantly, the warm flowers seemed to come alive, swaying from root to petal with the tune. The enchanting melody clouded the mind, urging Tang San toward a direction. Biting his tongue, he snapped awake, but the song's allure persisted. His pupils contracted, the song's pull aligned with the misfortune ripple's convergence. Without hesitation, Tang San raced back to his team. Dubai was struggling to restrain Chang Zicheng, her gaze dazed, stepping toward the song's lure. Wu Bingji and Ji Yuli, pained, resisted the temptation. Wake up! Tang San's low shout unleashed a mental wave, snapping the four back to clarity. Among them, Dubai had the strongest mental power, followed by Ji Yuli and Wu Bingji, with Cheng Zicheng the weakest, yet nearing 8th tier. Her struggle against the song showed its potency. Tang San turned toward the song's direction, listening to its rhythm. Hell and paradise are in the human world. The song lacked lyrics, but its intent echoed this phrase, repeating with varying volume, radiating seductive waves. A massive light pillar shot skyward, not from the ripples, convergence but elsewhere far off. The warm flowers glowed brighter, illuminating the world. Pale pink light motes rose, drawn to the pillar. As they dispersed, some warm flowers shifted to cold tones. The ground's suction emerged, draining life and bloodline power, milder than in cold flower zones. Move, Tang San commanded, leading toward the pillar. Ji Yuli followed, then Dubai, Cheng Zicheng, and Wu Bingji at the rear. Tang San noticed flying increased the ground's suction exponentially, walking minimized it. With warm flowers still abundant, navigating was manageable. Little Tang, I have an idea, Wu Bingji called. Speak, Tang San replied. If I craft a large ice shield, or an ice boat, for us to stand on, Zicheng can propel us with her wings. You guide the direction, it'll be faster. Tang San's eyes lit up, attribute synergy at work. Good. They stopped, and Wu Bingji's ice spirit transformation formed a thin-bottomed ice boat for 5, partially resisting the ground's pull. Cheng Zicheng's golden wings flapped, propelling the boat swiftly through the flowers. It consumes twice the bloodline power of normal ice conjuring, Wu Bingji noted. Understood, Tang San said, mental power fully active, sensing floral shifts. His hands unleashed golden lighter flame to steer the boat, its speed far surpassing their walking pace, heading for the pillar. Shuzaran had stressed reaching the exit quickly for their plan. Past battles showed most teams could reach it before flowers turned cold, but the real test was surviving the Hell Flowers' assaults and rival teams' attacks until half perished, opening the exit. This was the known data, with little exploration of the garden's deeper nature. But Tang San's focus wasn't the exit, it was the misfortune ripple's core, distinct from the pillar. What lay there? The gray sky obscured the heavens, only the flowers, dual glows in the song's allure making the garden seductive yet mysterious, far beyond a mere battleground. Still, ensuring his team's safety trumped uncovering secrets, which became a secondary goal. The song lasted a quarter hour before fading. Warm flowers dwindled, cold ones grew, but the vast garden kept them from other teams. The pillar endured, and Tang San confirmed it wasn't the ripple's core. He suspected it deliberately drew them away from it alone. He might have explored the core, but the unknown risked danger. Go, a voice echoed in his mental sea. Chapter 392, The Crystal Great Demon Emperor's Remnant Will. The sudden voice startled Tang San, prompting a sharp command, stop. Cheng Zicheng swiftly folded her wings, flapping them backward to halt the ice boat with airflow control. As the song faded, the ground's suction vanished. What's wrong? Dubai asked. Tang San didn't respond, his expression grave. Where had that voice come from? His 9th tier mental power concealed divine consciousness, yet he hadn't anticipated the voice, a terrifying realization. How had it emerged? Taking a deep breath, Tang San released his mental power, sitting cross-legged on the ice boat. He traced his thoughts back to the moment the voice appeared, seeking its source. His gaze locked onto his storage bracelet. The voice seemed to originate from within it, injecting mental power. The bracelet's contents flooded his mental world. He pinpointed the source instantly, the silver egg with intricate patterns, glowing faintly. The voice came from it when Tang San received this egg from the Crystal Great Demon Emperor. He'd studied it thoroughly but found nothing, unable to probe it with mental power and wary of using divine consciousness, fearing the Emperor's lingering presence. Yet, in the Hell Garden, the egg spoke, an unthinkable event. Fear surged. If the egg held a wisp of the Crystal Great Demon Emperor's divine consciousness, it meant his every move was watched. At his current level, he couldn't possibly oppose such a being. Go, the voice urged again. Your Majesty, Tang San tentatively sent a mental probe to the egg. It's merely a remnant will I left behind, no need for concern, the voice replied, as if sensing his fear. This remnant exists to ensure the egg's hatching. I sense the opportunity for it here. You must follow my guidance. Once it hatches, my will shall dissipate. Tang San's brows furrowed. Would the remnant truly vanish upon hatching? What kind of life form lay within? Could its emergence bring catastrophic consequences? Discarding the egg wouldn't solve anything. Leaving the Hell Garden would likely bring the Crystal Great Demon Emperor to his doorstep, ending his life. Against such an unparalleled powerhouse, resistance was futile. Compliance was his only path, taking each step cautiously. A newly hatched life, however strong, couldn't surpass his divine consciousness. The Emperor's tokens, a crystal mirror and this egg, suggested a task entrusted to him. If the egg hatched, even partially, with the remnant's presence, it should safeguard him. Standing, Tang San faced his team. I have a special feeling. Do you trust me? Absolutely, Dubai replied instantly, his faith in Tang San unwavering. Without him, Dubai might still linger below 3rd tier. Wu Bingji nodded. Of course, without you, we wouldn't be here. We'd have died in the arena. What's your plan? Ji Yuli and Cheng Zicheng nodded vigorously, noting Tang San's rare solemnity. I sense something extraordinary here, Tang San said gravely. I want to explore it. I didn't mention before, but at Crystal Mountain, I reached the summit and met the Crystal Great Demon Emperor. What? Ji Yuli gasped, knowing the mountain's grueling climb. Tang San nodded. I summited and earned his approval and tokens, a crystal mirror and light flashed from his bracelet, revealing the silver glowing crystal egg. The Emperor tasked me with protecting and hatching this egg just now. I sensed its will. It says its hatching opportunity lies in the Hell Garden. He omitted the remnant's nature to avoid alarming them. So, you plan to hatch it? Wu Bingji asked softly. Tang San nodded, emphasizing, it's the Emperor's charge. The team exchanged glances, grasping his meaning. Then go, Wu Bingji said firmly. We can't split up, we act together. You lead, we follow. Tang San paused, then said earnestly, thank you, senior brother. I'll protect everyone at all costs and ensure we leave safely. Wu Bingji smiled. We trust you, you always have our backs. Trust is our foundation. Let's move. Good. Change direction. Let's go. The ice boat set off, guided by Tang San toward the misfortune ripple's convergence. He kept the crystal egg in hand, silently challenging it to guide him. His battle with the Emperor had exposed nearly all his cards except Heavenly Fox transformation and divine consciousness. The Emperor's approval seemed genuine, making the egg a test, risk, or opportunity. Following its guidance implied safety. If his safety wasn't assured, how could he fulfill the Emperor's task? Chapter 393, Venturing Deeper. With clarity, Tang San relaxed slightly. Guided by him, the ice boat wove through warm-colored flowers, avoiding cold ones, speeding deeper. Theirs was likely the only team not heading toward the exit. Per Shuzaran's intel, the Hell Garden song started infrequently, their frequency rising as closure neared, increasing danger. Though warm flowers had lessened, they remained abundant and mostly connected. Without ground suction, Wu Bingji's energy consumption dropped. In large warm flower zones, Ji Yuli's time acceleration boosted the boat's speed. Tang San, the team's core, focused on guiding and guarding against risks in the mysterious garden. They gradually distanced from the exit, the pillar shrinking but visible. The crystal egg remained silent, glowing faintly in Tang San's hands. Every 2 hours, Tang San halted for rest to maintain peak condition. During breaks, he ventured to the warm cold flower boundary, releasing misfortune to track the ripples' direction. He noticed warm flower coverage shrinking while misfortune ripples grew denser. After nearly a day, warm flowers no longer connected. The boat had to breach cold flower zones. Tang San led with golden lighter flame, swiftly crossing to the next warm patch. Wu Bingji and the others learned the cold flower's terror, not just their 6th to 7th tier attacks but the omnipresent draining force, spiking their energy consumption. Without prior purchases of life and bloodline restoratives, they'd have faltered. Their pace slowed, facing cold flower assaults. As they crossed a third cold flower patch, the second song sounded. Tang San sensed denser misfortune ripples and fewer warm flowers. Frowning, he worried that reaching the ripples' core might leave only cold flowers for the return, an unsustainable drain. Glancing at the crystal egg, he hesitated. Go, the eggs will urge, sensing his doubt. Tang San mentally asked, can you ensure our safe return? Yes. The remnant replied tersely. Tang San noted its weakening state. An invisible pressure in the garden made divine consciousness risky. He couldn't gauge his ability to lead the team out, especially deeper in. He sent another thought. We'll proceed, but if I sense we lack time or strength to return, I'll stop. Your Majesty, we must survive. The egg didn't respond, perhaps too weak or agreeing. The ice boat pressed on Tang San, eager to unravel the plane's secrets, urged Chang Zicheng to accelerate fully, Wu Bingji to maintain the boat, and Ji Yuli to maximize time acceleration. Crossing cold flower zones, Tang San bolstered golden lighter flame to shield his team, minimizing their drain. His mysterious heaven technique's endless cycle restored his energy swiftly. By the third song, the exit pillar was a faint line. Every kilometer required crossing hundreds of square meters of cold flowers, progress growing arduous. Misfortune ripples blanketed everything, too dense to discern direction. Tang San knew they neared the core. After the third song, they rested, recovering. Chang Zicheng asked, Little Tang, which way next? Tang San pointed. There. He stopped, unease flickering. What's wrong? Chang Zicheng sensed it. Tang San lowered his hand, eyes hesitant. The others noticed, and Wu Bingji asked, something off. Tang San frowned. That's the direction, but I sense no warm flowers there, just endless cold ones. My mental range is shrinking. The team hesitated, even Wu Bingji. Repeated cold flower crossings had shown the draining force's terror. An endless cold flower zone meant relentless attacks without rest, with an unknown endpoint. Senior brother, stay here, Tang San said decisively. Wait for me. No way, Wu Bingji protested. We can't let you go alone. Tang San shook his head. It's the best choice. I'm stronger. Without warm flowers for rest, we can't recover. I can endure longer alone and move faster. I'll gauge my limit and return if needed. Together, if one of you exhausts, we'd all compensate, making escape harder. Alone, I'm nimbler. Wu Bingji tried to argue, but Tang San cut in. Trust me, senior brother. I won't die. With 3 songs past, I'll return by the next. You're in charge. Chapter 394, The Core of Misfortune. Wu Bingji took a deep breath. All right, be careful. If it's too much, come back immediately. Tang San nodded. If I'm not back by the next song, start heading back. I'll catch up senior brother, use ice to shield the boat and ice explosion to clear the way. Brother Dubai, counter the song's allure with purple demon eyes mental shock if needed. I'll be fine. Wu Bingji met his gaze. You must be not just for you or us but for humanity. You're our hope. Tang San nodded firmly, wasting no time. Holding the crystal egg in his left hand, he leapt into the cold flower zone. Without the boat to protect, he kept golden lighter flame close, pulverizing incoming attacks. He sealed his pores to minimize the draining force, accelerating forward. His 7th tier mysterious heaven technique, with its soul core, cycled energy rapidly, bolstering his endurance. He avoided spatial teleportation or flying, as they drained more energy and risked misdirection amid dense misfortune ripples. Golden lighter flame, a 1st tier bloodline, dominated, shielding him and reducing drain. His technique's endless cycle sustained his life force, preventing rapid depletion. His main challenge was the lack of warm flowers for rest, forcing him to reach the core swiftly. If he hit his limit without discovery, he'd retreat, no matter the Emperor's will. Facing the Emperor outside was better than dying here. For nearly 2 hours, Tang San pressed on, his life and bloodline power waning, recovery lagging. The cold flowers grew denser, stronger, their blue blooms ferocious, slowing him further. Still, he found no foothold or anomaly, only confirming he'd entered the misfortune ripple's core. Your Majesty, I can't hold on much longer. Can you guide me? Tang San said to the egg, preparing his retreat. The egg's silver glow flickered, and a silver light enveloped him. A strange sensation coursed through him. His blue-silver Emperor imprint trembled, vines sprouting uncontrollably, turning blue to match the cold flowers. Realizing its effect, Tang San wove the vines around himself. The cold flowers' attacks dwindled, then ceased. Breathing easier, he retracted his golden lighter flame, and the surrounding malice vanished. Enveloped by blue-silver Emperor, he blended into the environment. His vines absorbed the cold flowers' energy, transforming subtly. Not devouring but assimilating, his vines gained their properties, a marvel of the crystal egg's power. Why hadn't it activated sooner? Tang San mused wryly. Pausing to recover, he found the garden's abundant spiritual energy, tainted by misfortune, usable. His assimilated vines filtered misfortune into their energy, leaving pure spiritual energy for him, rapidly restoring his reserves. Could he now roam the Hell Garden freely? Adjusting to peak condition, Tang San activated Golden Pung transformation, vines wrapping his wings, making him a humanoid bird adorned with flowers. Flapping gently, he hovered, misfortune ripples passing through him as if he were part of them. His vines evolved, flowers growing larger. Wary of absorbing their energy directly, he let them grow, flying deeper. Unimpeded, his speed soared compared to before. Cold flowers blurred below, and his blue-silver Emperor grew stronger, its imprint restless in his dantian. Good or bad, it protected him now. Any issues could be handled later with divine consciousness. The crystal egg dimmed, its energy likely spent on assimilation. Chapter 395, The Paradise Garden. After an hour's flight, covering 10 times his previous 2 hours distance, Tang San found no distinct features. He marveled. Without the crystal egg's assimilation, even at 9th tier peak, he couldn't have penetrated this far. The cold flowers had grown massive, fist-sized upon entry, basin-sized during assimilation, now over 3 meters, capable of swallowing him. Their 9th tier power, in vast numbers, was terrifying. The Hell Garden was far deadlier than imagined. Arena battles occurred only in its safer edges, where warm flowers existed, none appeared here. With assimilation, Tang San fearlessly explored, seeking the misfortune ripple's core. The larger the cold flowers, the brighter their glow, turning the gray sky ice blue, the world dazzlingly bright. If not for the danger, Tang San might have deemed it the most beautiful place he'd seen, perfect for a proposal. Thoughts of a beautiful face flooded him with longing. It had been too long since he'd seen her. His warning device at Jiali Academy remained silent. A distant glow caught his eye, distinct from the ice blue expanse, white. His heart raced. Flapping harder, he accelerated. The crystal egg flickered, its patterns glowing as if alive. Approaching, he confirmed his suspicion. A white flower sea, each bloom radiating holy light. At its center stood a colossal flower, 100 meters wide, with countless layered petals and a lotus-like core emitting a sacred white glow. This was it, the ripples, convergence point, shrouded by near-tangible misfortune, forming a black halo that hid the white light from afar. Tang San landed cautiously at the white zone's edge, surrounded by giant cold flowers, over 5 meters wide, swaying toward the white area. His own cold flowers grew uncontrollably. Not lingering, he extended a blue-silver emperor vine into the white zone. Instantly, the gentle white light enveloped it, dissolving the cold flower into dust, leaving only the vine's essence. Enter, a faint voice from the egg urged. Testing with a hand, the same happened, cold flowers vanished, leaving his arm and vine. A warm, immense life force flooded him, easing his fatigue and restoring him to peak condition. From extreme misfortune comes fortune. Tang San's eyes lit up. This was an extraordinary place. Stepping in, his cold flowers melted away, revealing him holding the crystal egg, which blazed with silver light, absorbing life energy like a vortex. Yet, the white flower sea's boundless vitality seemed unaffected. Tang San grasped the song's meaning, hell and paradise are in the human world. If outside was hell, this was paradise, the paradise garden. Touching a white flower, he felt dense life force and, astonishingly, luck. The intense luck energized his heavenly spirit eye imprint, showing signs of evolution. A realm of pure luck. Ascend, the eggs will prompt it. Looking at the giant flower, Tang San took a deep breath and leapt upward. The closer he got, the more refreshed he felt. Suddenly, a shadow emerged behind him, his three-tailed heavenly fox, sprouting a fourth tail. A surge of luck enveloped him, renewing his being. A faint sound came from the egg, then it fell silent, as if something within had vanished completely. Chapter 396, the crystal eggs hatching. The sudden silence of the crystal egg and the disappearance of its remnant will startle Tang San, but the surge of luck from his newly evolved four-tailed heavenly fox transformation steadied his focus. The egg's silver glow intensified, pulsing rhythmically as if alive, its intricate patterns shimmering with an otherworldly radiance. Hovering above the colossal white flower, Tang San felt the paradise garden's overwhelming life force and luck energy enveloping him. The egg in his hands trembled, its surface warming as the silver light grew blinding. A faint cracking sound echoed, barely audible yet profound, like the first note of a new existence. The egg shell began to fracture, delicate lines spreading across its surface. Tang San's heart raced. This was the moment of hatching the crystal great demon emperor had tasked him with. He tightened his grip, channeling his mysterious heaven technique to stabilize the egg's energy, wary of any sudden outbursts that could overwhelm him. The white flower beneath him swayed gently, its petals radiating a soft, holy light that seemed to resonate with the egg. The lotus-like core at its center pulsed, sending waves of pure life force upward, feeding the egg's transformation. Tang San sensed the egg drawing not just from the flower but from the entire paradise garden, as if the plane itself was nurturing this birth. A faint hum emanated from the egg, growing into a melodic resonance that harmonized with the garden's ambiance. The cracks widened, and a sliver of vibrant silver blue light spilled out, illuminating Tang San's face. He shielded his eyes, his heavenly spirit eyes straining to perceive the emerging entity. Suddenly, the egg shattered entirely, fragments dissolving into motes of silver light that swirled around him. From the core emerged a small, translucent figure, no larger than a fist, resembling a miniature humanoid with delicate, crystalline wings. Its form shimmered, shifting between solid and ethereal, radiating a gentle aura that felt both familiar and alien. Tang San's breath caught. This was no ordinary life form. Its energy signature echoed the crystal great demon emperor's omnipotent essence, yet softer, unformed, like a nascent deity. The creature's eyes, twin orbs of liquid silver, opened and met his, conveying a sense of curiosity and trust. You, Tang San began, unsure how to address it. The creature tilted its head, wings fluttering, and a faint mental whisper brushed his mind, guardian. The word carried no voice, only intent, yet it resonated deeply. Tang San understood, the crystal great demon emperor's remnant had guided him here to hatch this being, and he was now its protector. The creature hovered closer, perching lightly on his shoulder, its touch cool yet comforting. The paradise garden's luck energy surged, amplifying his heavenly fox transformation. The fourth tail solidified, and Tang San felt his control over luck sharpen, as if the garden itself had blessed him. His blue-silver emperor imprint, still active, pulsed in harmony, no longer mimicking cold flowers but resonating with the white bloom's vitality. The giant flower's core glowed brighter, and a wave of energy swept through the garden, momentarily dimming the surrounding cold flower's malice. Tang San realized the paradise garden wasn't just a counterpoint to the hell garden, it was its heart, balancing misfortune with luck, death with life. He glanced at the creature. What are you? He asked softly. The creature's mental voice replied, I am, Crystal's hope. Born of her will, nurtured by this garden. You are my guide. Tang San's mind raced. The crystal great demon emperor's will had orchestrated this, using the hell garden's unique properties to birth this entity. But what was its purpose? And why him? Before he could ponder further, the garden trembled. The misfortune ripples, previously converging here, began to recede, as if the hatching had disrupted their flow. The cold flowers outside the white zone dimmed, their attacks weakening. Tang San knew time was short. The fourth song could sound soon, and he had to reunite with his team. Holding the creature gently, he activated Golden Pung transformation, wings unfurling, and soared back toward his companions. The creature clung to him, its presence stabilizing his energy. As he flew, the cold flowers no longer attacked, their malice subdued by the paradise garden's influence. His speed was unmatched, the garden's luck boosting his flight. Reaching the warm flower zone where he'd left his team, Tang San landed softly. Wu Bingji, Dubai, Ji Yu Li, and Chang Zicheng rushed to him, relief evident despite their hooded faces. You're back, Wu Bingji exclaimed. We were about to head to the exit. Tang San nodded, revealing the creature on his shoulder. It hatched. This is what the crystal great demon emperor entrusted to me. The team stared, awestruck. Dubai's eyes widened. It's brimming with luck. What is it? My guardian, Tang San said, echoing the creature's word. It's tied to the crystal great demon emperor in this place. We need to leave, now. As if on cue, the fourth song began, its melody stronger, urging them toward the exit. The warm flowers dwindled further, cold ones dominating. Tang San guided the ice boat, the creature's presence shielding them from the song's allure. With the creature amplifying their luck, they navigated swiftly, avoiding cold flower attacks. The exit's pillar loomed closer, but Tang San knew the true challenge awaited, surviving the other teams at the exit, where only half could leave. Chapter 397, Daddy. Jingjing. If human women give birth, it's typically viviparous, right? Could the Crystal Great Demon Emperor be female? Yet, Tang San distinctly recalled the Emperor appearing male. It was confusing, truly baffling. Moreover, the little girl's growth was astonishingly rapid. In mere moments, after consuming a third of her eggshell, she'd grown to the size of a 3-year-old human child. Her delicate frame stretched, her eyes growing lively, though they now gleamed with hunger. The scene was undeniably magical for Tang San, but he could only watch in silence. As she devoured the eggshell bit by bit, her body grew. Finishing the last piece, she sucked her fingers, her large blue eyes blinking at Tang San. Dense life force and luck energy surged toward her, though the Paradise Garden song had ceased. Daddy, hug, the girl suddenly called, stretching her arms toward Tang San, speaking clearly. What? Tang San stared, stunned, as the 6-year-old sized girl lunged at him. He instinctively caught her, bewildered. Her eyes were pure, brimming with innocence, like a blank slate. I'm not your daddy, surely the Crystal Great Demon Emperor is. In his past life, Tang San and his wife Xiaowu had a son and daughter, the daughter born first. Holding this girl stirred memories of his daughter in another plane, softening his heart. He pulled a shirt from his storage bracelet to cover her, asking, you can speak from birth. Daddy, daddy, she giggled, repeating. Tang San sighed helplessly, glancing at the 18 golden lotus seeds at his feet, resisting their allure. This place was critical, those seeds likely its core. Taking them could bring disaster. Despite their value as this plane's treasures, he dared not act. With the crystal egg hatched, his bloodline powers evolved rapidly, and he glimpsed the plane's core secret. He lingered, partly because the girl was absorbing vast life force, far exceeding his own intake, and partly to push his bloodline imprints to 8th tier peak. However, with the song's end, possibly due to the Stone of Luck's refinement, the luck and life force weakened, and the black misfortune ripples outside faded. What's your name? He asked the girl. Daddy, daddy, she murmured. Tang San chuckled wryly. If you don't have a name, I'll give you one. You came from the crystal egg, so how about Jingjing? Jingjing, Jingjing, good. Her voice was stiff but intelligent, understanding him. Observing his surroundings, Tang San reached for the innermost stamen of a paradise flower, channeling his mysterious heaven technique. If this flower were a spirit race, its bloodline was at least first tier. With 2 imprint slots open, he couldn't miss this chance. As his technique flowed, immense life energy flooded him, but no bloodline imprint formed. The paradise flower couldn't yield one, disappointing. Calculating time, Tang San glanced reluctantly at the golden lotus seeds. It was time to leave. With luck diminishing and his heavenly fox transformation unable to reach 8th tier without staying, he couldn't risk it, his team awaited. Holding Jingjing, he leapt, wings unfurling, gliding toward the paradise garden's edge. Outside, towering 9th tier cold flowers swayed. He could handle a few, but many would overwhelm him. His earlier assimilation via the crystal egg had worked. Could his blue-silver emperor repeat it? Fearing the effect's loss, he hurried. His blue-silver emperor cautiously extended, recalling the assimilation sensation, and blue flowers bloomed in the hell garden. A strange sensation hit. 2 forces surged into him, colliding, misfortune, malice, and negative emotions from the hell garden via his assimilated vines, and luck and life energy from the paradise garden, triggered by the contact. His 4-tailed heavenly fox emerged, luck rippling. Bizarrely, it split, half black, half white, clashing within him. Trouble. He'd become their battleground. Entering the paradise garden hadn't triggered this, as he carried only hell garden energy. Leaving, he bore both, amplified by the egg's assimilation and his heavenly fox transformation, making him a conduit. He had to exit or retreat to the paradise garden immediately. Trying to withdraw, his body stiffened, movement sluggish as the energies intensified. Daddy. Jingjing cried softly. Tang San looked down, shocked. Her face unchanged, her short hair and eyes split, half white, half black. She seemed in pain, calling, Daddy, Daddy. Chapter 398, Domain. Though he had no deep bond with the girl, she was alive, a human like one Tang San had watched emerge. If he struggled with these energies, how could she endure? Would this fragile life be snuffed out? No time for hesitation. Resolve flashed in his eyes as he prepared to summon his divine consciousness, consequences be damned. Daddy, Jingjing shrieked. A crystalline light erupted from her, and the black and white energies within Tang San collided, spinning wildly. As they swirled, they turned transparent. His body lightened, and he burst from the paradise garden into the hell garden. A transparent aura cloaked him, rendering the cold flowers unresponsive. Glancing at Jingjing, he saw her hair return to silver, but exhaustion had lulled her into a deep sleep. Then, her body grew translucent, dissolving into a stream of light that merged into Tang San's chest. A cool sensation followed, and a crystal-like imprint appeared in his body, resting passively without vying for dominance. It felt as if Jingjing slept within him. What was this? What was this girl from the crystal egg? Tang San sensed a faint link between his divine consciousness and this new imprint, a troubling connection, given his divine consciousness was his greatest secret, and Jingjing stemmed from the crystal great demon emperor. Yet, she'd saved him, calling him, Daddy. How could he harm her? Inspecting within, he saw the black and white energies spinning, condensing into a yin-yang fish-like halo behind his heavenly spirit eye imprint, like a backdrop. His heavenly fox transformation had evolved. This halo neutralized the cold flower's hostility. Tang San, prioritizing escape, activated golden pung transformation and soared back the way he came. The hell garden's draining force vanished. It felt like the outside world. Inhaled spiritual energy shed its misfortune into the yin-yang halo, leaving pure energy to nourish him, keeping him at peak condition. Glancing back at the paradise garden, his eyes gleamed. All return. This place was likely his best shot at breaking through to divine level. Unburdened by assimilation, he flew faster, blending into the plane. Probing his heavenly spirit eye, he tested the yin-yang halo. Drawing black energy, the cold flowers below grew ferociously, as if fed. Drawing white energy, they transformed into warm flowers, radiating life and luck within a 100-meter radius. A domain. Accidentally, with Jingjing's aid, he'd imbued his heavenly spirit eye with a domain ability. Uncertain if it worked outside the hell garden, he noted its mechanics mirrored heavenly fox transformation, using luck increased misfortune, requiring its release, and vice versa. The domain amplified these effects within 100 meters, shifting flowers instantly per his will. Testing further, he found that activating black then both energies turned blue flowers black, exuding misfortune. Activating white then both turned them white, brimming with life and luck. Each used 10 minutes to recover for blue or red flowers, 30 for black or white, depleted the halo, but the hell garden's energies refilled it. Heavenly fox transformation hastened recovery. If this domain worked outside, it'd be a game changer. An unexpected boon. Flying swiftly, he spotted warm flowers after 2 hours. Unimpeded, he unleashed his mental power, locating his team nearby, as expected. They'd retreated slightly due to dwindling warm flowers but stayed close to their parting point. Sensing them, Tang San retracted his wings and landed. His team, anxious after his long absence and the song's effect, had waited steadfastly. Hell and paradise are in the human world. The fifth song sounded, warm flowers fading as energy shifted. We move. Find the next foothold, Wu Bingji commanded. Chapter 399, Dubai's advancement. As warm flowers began shifting to cold, a strange phenomenon occurred. They reverted, blooming with vibrant red halos, stronger than before. The comforting sensation halted the team. A familiar voice rang out, I'm back. Tang San landed beside them, and his team's relief was palpable. Dubai rushed over. Finally, we were worried sick. You okay? He scanned Tang San. Tang San appeared unchanged, but Dubai, with his heavenly fox transformation, sensed an ethereal quality, a transcendent aura. Glancing at the distant exit pillar, Tang San said, let's move and talk, time's short. Wu Bingji nodded. I'll use. No need, Tang San interrupted. Stay close. Grasping Dubai's shoulder, Tang San channeled a surge of energy, warming Dubai's blood, soothing every cell. A three-tailed heavenly fox shadow emerged above Dubai, glowing stronger. Tang San, his heavenly spirit eye at 7th tier peak, infused Dubai with Paradise Garden's luck energy. Though it weakened his own ability, it greatly boosted Dubai's heavenly fox transformation. Without Dubai, Tang San wouldn't have this power. Besides, outside the Paradise Garden, the luck would dissipate. As luck surged, the yin-yang imprint in Tang San's dantian spun, causing nearby flowers to flicker between blue and red, yet they didn't attack. A white glow intensified, and a fourth tail sprouted on Dubai's fox shadow. Tang San's infusion forcibly elevated Dubai's heavenly fox transformation to 7th tier, four-tailed status. Dubai stood taller, his eyes gleaming black and white. At 6th tier, heavenly fox transformation sensed misfortune, balancing luck and misfortune. At 7th tier, four tails granted preliminary control over both, harmonizing intangible energies, offering self-protection beyond mere luck manipulation. What did you do, little Tang? Dubai asked. Pointing to the exit, Tang San led them forward, explaining, deep in the Hell Garden lies the Paradise Garden, guarded by 9th tier flowers. I entered it, finding immense luck energy, which I brought back for you. I gained a power to influence the garden's flowers, preventing attacks. That's the gist. He kept it vague, as some details, like Jingjing, now an imprint within him, were hard to explain. Returning with a daughter would be awkward. For their plan with the Heavenly Spirit Shop, a bribe team would clear obstacles at the exit and swap their number plates for low-profile groups, masking their identities. The shop's wealth and Tang San's connection to a formation master justified the effort. But their detour had delayed them, and the exit situation was unclear. Tang San had planned to hunt demon race contenders for bloodline imprints but lost time in the Paradise Garden. With Jingjing's imprint occupying a slot, he couldn't activate it like others, only sensing her dormant presence. He withheld the Hell Garden's core secret, tied to the demon and spirit races' top powers. Exposure would be fatal. They had to leave discreetly. The garden's dual nature, hell and paradise, sparked countless possibilities in his mind. As cold flowers turned warm around them, radiating warmth and nature's energy, his team marveled. Did you become this place's master? Dubai asked. Tang San gestured for silence. Outside, say nothing about this. Only we know. The Hell Garden likely holds the ancestral court's secrets, I'm only guessing. No one must know we went that deep. Wu Bingji nodded. Don't tell us what happened. If we don't know, we can't leak it, share when you're ready. Tang San met his senior brother's eyes, seeing absolute trust. Chapter 400, The Exit. Together, they had undergone cultivation, growth, and external trials, even facing life and death battles in the Great Beast Arena. Tang San's silent efforts for the team and for humanity were evident to although they sensed he harbored secrets, they deliberately avoided probing. Even the mayor said nothing, and given that everything Tang San did was for their benefit, all they could do was trust him. Hey, don't say it, we know nothing, Ji Yuli said, looking at Dubai with envy. He had struggled immensely to reach the 7th tier, while Dubai's heavenly fox transformation, far harder to cultivate, had reached the 7th tier with just a pat on the shoulder from Tang San. It was maddeningly enviable. Tang San shook his head helplessly. There's really no time power here, senior brother Ji Yuli. Once the auction starts, I'll see if I can find some high-tier time crocodile blood to help you advance. Though Ji Yuli's time shift was a 2nd tier bloodline, its advancement was extremely difficult. In fact, time shift was at the pinnacle of 2nd tier bloodlines, only classified as such because no great demon emperor had ever emerged from this lineage, preventing it from being 1st tier. The mysteries of time were even more profound than those of space, and even Tang San, a former god king, dared not claim mastery over them. Free from the interference of the Hell Garden, their return was much faster than their entry. Twice more, they heard distant songs, and the warm-colored flowers were nearly out of sight, with only a 100-meter radius around them, influenced by Tang San, maintaining a ring of warm-colored flowers. The light pillar at the exit grew clearer, and with plenty of time before the Hell Garden's closure, they could continue forward. Surrounded by warm-colored flowers, their energy consumption was minimal, replenished faster than spent, keeping them near peak condition. As they neared the exit, Tang San sensed energy fluctuations from that direction. He could see lights flickering around the exit's light pillar. He halted his teammates, focusing his perception on the distance. The exit's light pillar loomed large in their view, a heaven-reaching beam like a celestial ladder connecting to another world. The area around it, roughly 10 meters in diameter, was encircled by warm-colored flowers. Beyond that, ferocious cold-colored flowers, at least 7th tier spirit race plants, attacked anything entering their domain. Combat raged at the boundary between warm and cold flowers. By Tang San's estimate, only one day remained before the exit closed. Whether due to restrained fighting earlier or other reasons, his perception indicated that at least 80% of the team battle participants, including them, were still alive. The Hell Garden's team battle rule required half the participants to die before the exit would fully open. Otherwise, if the garden closed, all would perish. Tang San judged that time was running short, making combat inevitable. What shocked him was the terrifying strength displayed once the fighting began. Nearly every participant was above the 9th tier, with the weakest just entering it. At least 10 were at the 9th tier peak, akin to the lighter sword saints level, battling fiercely. Tang San shared his findings with his teammates, quickly retracting his domain's power. The warm-colored flowers around them dwindled to a small ring, making them less noticeable. Facing the distant battle, their course was clear. Without a domain, they'd have to join the fray, ally with the strongest team, and escape. But with Tang San, seemingly the master of the Hell Garden, they could sit back and watch the Tigers fight. The once perilous ancestral court Great Beast Arena team battle now felt remarkably easy for the Shrek squad, stirring mixed feelings among them. Let's rest here for now, Tang San said with a faint smile. The distant battle wouldn't end soon. Since they had to wait, he planned to use this chance to explore the peculiar domain within his heavenly spirit eye. In his past life, he had multiple domain abilities, and in this life, he intended to recreate at least one soon. Due to this plane's differences, he needed the right opportunity, but unexpectedly, he had gained this strange domain. The five concealed themselves among the flowers, several kilometers from the exit. With only a few warm-colored flowers around, they were unlikely to be spotted. No one would risk venturing through kilometers of cold-colored flowers to find them. The cold-colored flowers near the exit formed a sky-blocking barrier, attacking anything that entered. Tang San sat cross-legged, focusing inward, first sensing Jingjing's aura. Jingjing remained in deep slumber, but Tang San clearly felt her absorbing the world's spiritual energy, taking a significant portion of what he absorbed. He then shifted his consciousness to the heavenly spirit eye imprint. Black and white airflow swirled within the imprint, now exuding a domineering aura compared to its former ethereal chill, noticeably larger than other imprints. The lighter transformation imprint was strong but showed no resistance before it, nor did the peacock transformation imprint. The black and white airflow, the convergence of fortune and misfortune, maintained a balanced state. Like the heavenly fox transformation, using fortune increased misfortune, which needed release, and vice versa. But when these energies intertwined, the domain's primary effects seemed to amplify them. When Tang San wielded fortune or misfortune, the domain enhanced their effects within a 100-meter radius, shifting instantly with his intent. With this domain, he seemed to merge with the Hell Garden, becoming one with it. Tang San understood that, to outsiders, the Hell Garden's core mystery was the Paradise Garden and Hell Garden formed by fortune and misfortune. He suspected this plane was closely tied to the Heavenly Fox Great Demon Emperor, and now, he was treated as if he were a direct descendant of that emperor's bloodline. He didn't know if the Heavenly Fox Great Demon Emperor possessed this same domain.